We also, of course, are a part of the world, and we need to have a a pipeline to the world, and that is where a place like Gift City has an important role. So we have created all these things. It's an all-of-nation approach. So it's not just about government. There are all kinds of institutions, including the private sector. There are, of course, our regulators, SEBI, who are also represented here. There's a Reserve Bank of India, who plays another role. So we have now a really robust institutional structure, combination of entities, buffers in the system. I think, the level of sophistication that has now been achieved is something that is, not adequately appreciated. Now, given that we have achieved that, I think there is something that we can actually now begin to provide to the world. Of course, China did that in terms of creating the sophistication of its manufacturing ecosystem. And yes, here in India, we too have some aspirations of doing it in manufacturing. But in terms of the sophistication of our services sector, particularly in the kind of financial systems that we have created, the information systems we have created, the trust systems we have created, in terms of accountancy systems and so on, our financial markets, which of course Ashish has been an important member of the team that built that out. I think we now need to be willing to go out and sell it to the rest of the world, because you have, of course, taken the first step in terms of providing an important service in terms of sovereign ratings, but your ability to do ratings generally of other things, not just corporate ratings, but environment, social governance norms, certifications of various kinds, and providing trust systems, so to speak, is something that we can actually sell to the rest of the world. And we should do that. I think we need to do this in for example, I think in 10 years' time, we should have Indian accountancy firms all over the world. We need to have Indian legal firms all over the world. In fact, ironically, many of these kinds of firms have very large operations today in India. It's Indians doing it. So it's not like we don't know the technology anymore, but they aren't Indian companies doing it. I think we need to take that next step where Indian companies go out to the rest of the world. You have taken, so in a sense, it's not just about the sovereign ratings. You are effectively a pioneer into this idea that Indian, services in terms of providing certifications, in terms of providing benchmarks, for global use, is something that you are really pioneering. And when the history of this period is written, I think today's event will be remembered as a very major step forward in terms of our stepping forward into the world in this space, and not too different from where China maybe a decade or two back began to get into the, they too at some point were recipients of technology. They were just sort of back ends of various kinds of manufacturing. And today, look at them. I mean, from Huawei to BYD to all kinds of manufacturing sectors where they now have brands. We will have services sector brands which are world class. So, to sum it up, it's not just about us being able to create our own systems for our own use. I think we are creating sophisticated enough systems which we can export to the rest of the world.